Remember that people read email messages quickly. In fact, read may be too strong a word. Scan is usually more like it. Too often the details are lost inside the message because we weren't clear as to what we wanted from a glance, from a scanning mode. Now, email is not the place to worry about creating high literature. You want a message that somebody can read without really reading it. We did that a little bit with our rewrite of the podcast here, and it's fairly decent in terms of it has the purpose in one section and the content in another. Just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and save that as a draft, and I'll close it out. I'm going to go take a look at another message here, and here's a message from Jill. We'll double-click this one to open it. And what you have here is a message, and you can see it's actually kind of got a bunch of things in it. It says, this is a status report on the podcast project, a nice strong subject line there. Except, if you look at the message itself, here's a sort of an update. We've got podchannel.com on board for the podcast, but they need something, and then could you put these together? And then we also, here's some more information, need to brainstorm the content. I think Jill's trying to send out a message. You should be at these meetings, so check in. So there's some information and an action all put together. Here's a message about Bob and recording. He's thinking the office would be best. What do you think? So this isn't really just a status report, and we have a strange mix of actions and information. But I don't want to just break them out into a list of information, a list of actions, because they all kind of go together. And I've gotten a lot of emails like this. So how would I rewrite this? Go ahead and select it and copy it. And we'll go ahead and just minimize it for the moment. Do the same thing. I'll make a new message. Right-click, paste. And we'll go back to the original message. 1, 2, 3. 3 clicks to select the whole line. Copy. Go back over to the message, and I'll just paste it for a moment. Okay, so what do we have? Instead of status report on the project, let's look at all this and see what we really have in here. I'm just going to go ahead and put some returns in, separating out the different items. This in and of itself is an improvement, right? We've got information and an action. I've got information and an action. Information with a question even, and an action. What do you think? To make it clearer and to make it more scannable, as part of the subject, I'm going to make 3 things I need on the podcast project. So now it's clear from the subject there are 3 things that the sender needs. And now to make it even clearer in the message, there's no problem with going ahead and saying numbering things. Now I can put in, numbers by hand here if I want to. Or in many email programs I could just select and I can number 1 through 3. And now to make things even clearer, here are the 3 things I needed, right? Here are the 3 items. I'm going to go ahead and write in the message. I need 3 things from you. And again, a deadline. Always give people a when you need this today. We'll just say by next Monday. And if you want to be super clear, just in case, you could be by Monday, and we'll say 3/2. So that it's super clear as to when it is. And you'll notice I'm putting returns in here. I could do this without the return, right? I'm going to take those out. And sure, it's perfectly acceptable. It's a fine way to do things. But you know what? By doing it with a return, and if you get an extra number in there, when you hit return, you can go ahead and just delete it. And in this program anyway, it'll renumber for you. The nice thing about this is I've said up front, I need 3 things. The 3 things are right there. They're all in the same order. The action is right at the end. There's a deadline for it. So that at a glance, this message, I can see I need 3 things from it. I don't have to entirely read it to get that piece of information. And none of those 3 things will get lost in the process. One thing you might want to consider with a message like this is actually sending 3 messages. Now, if that seems like a waste of time, my gosh, I get so many emails. I don't want to get 3 emails when I could just get 1. Remember that some people use their inbox like a to-do list. And I may be able to respond to you with number 1 and say number 3 right away. But, number 2 I want to leave in my inbox as an unread message to remind me that I should check in if I don't hear anything. So, if you're going to do something like that, what you probably want to do is, something like this. Things I need on the podcast project. 1 of 3. And I would go ahead and in the message, you could then just say, Jeff. Don't need numbering anymore. And you'd want to take these messages out. We'll go ahead and cut them. Just like so. So then I have the message, right, with those things. And I'm just going to go ahead and send it to myself here, just so you can see how I would do this quickly. And go ahead and hit send, and it just sent it for me. Now, since I had those other items on the clipboard, here's a little trick if you do have to break up a message like that. I'm going to open the message, and somewhere, all messages are different, programs are different, but I'll just show you where it is in Outlook for now. There's resend the message. There's the message again. Then I just go ahead and select the thing that I had. We'll go ahead and I did a Command V, paste. And I'll cut this one, delete, 2 of 3, send, actions, resend the message, delete, 3 of 3, paste, and here's the third task, send. Now I can go back to my inbox here. Let me go ahead and just do a quick send and receive. And you can see the 3 things I sent. Here's one of the things. Here's another thing. Here's another thing. I could go ahead and respond really quickly to, say, this one, and respond really quickly to this one. But this I have to keep track of. I might be one of those people who leaves it as an unread message in my inbox. And then I could just delete the 2 that I don't need anymore, keep that 1 as a reminder to myself. And you'll see more of that in Effective Use of Email, Chapter 3. But just the thing about scannable emails, that you want something that at a glance I can see what I need to do or what information there is for me without my having to read it right away.